Good evening, Dallas Stars hockey fans. This is Jeff with the Dallas Stars Hockey Minute. Excuse the Ohio State hat. I was talking to my friends about that particular sport today. So let's get back to what we should be wearing. Anyway, it looks like Jamie Benn is back. Jamie's back for one more season. I do think that's the right call. Um, Someone made a comment on the fan today about how they love the deal because it's a 1 year deal with bonus incentives. It's a chance for Jamie to show us what he's capable of again. In the same instance, since we haven't got a coach yet, we need his leadership right now. I think that if you would have let Jamie Benn test the waters in free agency, without a coach, I think that would have been a really, really bad decision on our part because right now there's a lot of uncertainty. My personal opinion, I still think that Tyler Sagan is going to be the one that's going to go. I don't think they bring him back. That's a lot of money that could be freed up for other people. I'm still trying to find out what the next step is for Dallas. Next week is the NHL draft, and we'll have to watch and see how that plays out. But there's one player that we brought in towards the end of the season that I really want to keep, and that's Granlund. I think that he's not a top forward. I think he might be like in your third centerman on your third line. I think he might be. I think he's good on your second power play. I mean, he's a utility guy that can be moved up and down the lineup. I know he can help a guy like Mikko Rantanen, where I know Rantanen's going to be a top center. He's going to be either second or first line come the season. But he's also a guy when you're getting close to the end of the year that you want to be able to play in and out of the lineup. You can put a guy like Granlund in with him to help with offense. It's one guy I don't think we need to get rid of. I think he can be a really pivotal part of what we do. Now, Dumba, go. He definitely didn't prove what he was worth. I feel like we did Ryan Suter all over again. We got a guy and never used him that much. But this talk of Jason Robertson being on the trade deadline, I feel like it's just kind of that trade bait thing they'll do to see what other players and other teams are going to do. Jason Robertson would be a horrible person to get rid of. I still think he's a very big part of the foundation of this team. And I'm so angry with a lot of you guys that were talking crap about him because of his playoff run. I mean, come on, the guy came off of an injury. Come playoff time, I don't think he was given enough time to really show what he can do. I mean, he didn't come back, to the later second round going into the Western Conference final. I mean, I know they were trying to make sure he was healthy, but a healthy Jason Robertson is dangerous, and y'all know this. So this talk of him being a guy that you want to trade away is ridiculous, in my opinion. So, I mean, we still have Wyatt Johnston. I mean, still a lot of young players that could be kept here. I mean, I know Jason and his agent are probably going to be asking for money, but a guy like Jim Neal will probably be able to talk him down a little bit because, come on, he's still young. And I still believe that all these players on this team believe we're Stanley Cup ready. I mean, there's like all these top names out there right now, and Alexander Volkov for I can't pronounce his last name. The guy from Florida that everybody's like he's a free agent. Well, Florida's going to find a way to re-sign him. If they don't, that would be the player I would want to bring over here to Dallas because I think he's gonna would bring a lot of size and strength, and I think it could really help. But this Mitch Marner thing, I am against it. I don't care what people say. I know he's up in Toronto. It's a hard market to be a player. The media is all over your butt and all that stuff. And then there's that rumor, oh, he'll be doing better down here because the media won't be so hard. Well, I don't want a diva in my locker room because I feel like he's the guy. He's the kind of guy that if it goes tough, it's going bad. He's gonna whine, and he showed his true colors in Toronto after the playoffs are over, and he showed his true colors a lot during the last couple of seasons he's there. So I don't want that kind of garbage in my locker room. I mean, you could say he's a 90-point player a year. You could say all those things. But is he worth it for point production if he's a guy that you can't trust in the locker room? That's a question I have. And because every time I've ever watched an interview with the guy, I don't trust him. He's not a guy that can put his feelings aside and play hockey. Because I mean, you got to be able to be a little politically correct when you're talking to the media. You got to be careful what you say. You can put any blood in the water, those media guys are right on you. And he kind of showed that after the round of the playoffs with the Panthers. And as far as Connor McDavid's concerned, I think he's not going to be a Edmonton Oiler by by trade deadline, but he doesn't he don't even think he's coming here. So I mean, we're still in the process of opening up cap space to find out if there's a big something that we need that we're not addressing. So before we start getting into all these trade deadline scenarios, let's make sure we can afford it. Because there's a couple teams. I mean, Edmonton's one of them. I think the board of governors are questioning if they didn't go over their cap space. They're checking on a couple teams right now to see if they didn't follow what they had to follow here. So let's not be one of those teams where we're like, oh no, did we follow the cap space? Did we do what we were supposed to do? So let's find out who we're getting rid of first. I'm feeling Tyler Sagan's gone, Dumba's gone. CC, I don't know how I feel. I think CC could still be a guy that we could use, but when you got a guy like Labushkin and you got Bishel, these young defensemen that I think did a good job in the playoffs, that kind of showed that they could play the role. And right now they're cheaper, and I hate to do that. Sometimes you want to stay. Sometimes you want to ride the developed players because they're the guys you want to keep on your team and solidify the foundation. So CC, I'm on the fence if I want to keep him. Dumba, 86, that guy. So anyway, Jamie Benn, congratulations. I'm glad you're back for one more season. That was really what this podcast started to be about. And then I went into cap space and all kinds of other things that were going in my brain. So we have the captain for one more year. He deserves to stay a star. He deserves to retire from here as a star. So let's do our best to help him get everything he deserves. I really want us to win a cup for him. I feel bad for Pavelski because I wanted him to get one too, but he ended up retiring. Let's not send Jamie Benn out of this team without a cup. Let's fix whatever needs to be fixed. because as a fan of this team, I really want a Stanley Cup. I mean, I was 26 years ago is when we won the only Stanley Cup we've ever had. We're good enough. I don't know what it's going to take to get over that hump. I mean, with the whole Pete DeBoer being fired thing, I've said it before. I don't think Pete would have been gone if he didn't open his mouth in that last press conference and pretty much shove Ottinger under the bus. If he was a little bit more professional and owned up to some of the stuff he did, he might still be the coach of this team. I really think it was a self-destruct moment for him. Anyway, this is Jeff with the Dallas Stars Hockey Minute. This podcast is almost 11 minutes. I never go this long. I usually try to keep it 6 to 8 at the most because sometimes I feel like I'm rambling. So forgive me if that's what happened here. But I do have a lot going on of what I think and feel. I'm just trying to put it all together. But number one, I'm really happy for Jamie. Jamie's my favorite player. You know, he got drafted in 2007. And it has a lot of meaning to me because that's when I started watching hockey again. There's some personal stuff in my life. I wasn't present for stuff. And for those of you that understand about not being present for things you love, I started being present when Jamie became a rookie here. And I've watched him this last 18 years. I'm very proud that he's a Dallas Star, and I'm glad he's getting to stay here. And hopefully, like I said, we can win one for him so that he can go out with the best trophy in hockey.